What's up, everybody? How are all of you doing? It is Sunday, everybody, and we're here for another Schmo night. Wow, it's getting started. I'm already screwing up here, but you know what? That's fine. It's another Schmodown night in Canada, ladies and gentlemen. The Sunday crew is here with all of y'all. It's myself, Ryan Payne, and my co-captain, or pretty much at this point, the man who is steering this ship. That is Ben Rayner, and guys, we got a whole lot to talk about. It's one of the reasons why we started early because we have ourselves five matches actually to talk about. So, no, Lightning Time, Moose and Chance, Nick Harley and Niyama, the championship match. Oh, I was including the pay-per-view. So yeah, I apologize. 4 matches. But we may talk about the pay-per-view a little bit because of Chance and Moose, though. But so 4.5. 4.5, though.
All good, man. All good. We've been doing this for a while. We've been doing this for a while now, and it's only getting more fun for me. So,
yes. But
why don't we get started? We have a lot to talk about. Let's get started with the Lightning Time versus Frederick Sam match. What did you think of this match?
This match was insane. I mean, number 1 contenders match. Let's not forget. Winner faces Shazam at whatever date Christian is going to arrange this at. So, without a doubt, there was a lot of stakes going in here. I mean, obviously looking at the faction standings, this would have been big for Swag because they would have gotten some big points to jump them out of second to last place. And for the usual suspects, this definitely would have shaked things up because not only will Ethan have not only is Ethan a singles championship, he's going to be defending it, but now with even though we do know that Lightning Time won, but even then, those points winning definitely shakes things up between second and third place for the usual suspects. And now Ethan has an opportunity, since he won, to become a double belted champion. And Liz has the best opportunity to become another female in the Schmodown to win a championship, which is amazing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and it might be wrong. Has Ethan ever been on a team championship?
No, he's not.
Okay.
No, this is gonna be the first time he's played for the team's championship. He and Janine is oh my god.
Lightning Time. Right?
No. Him and Janine.
Time
Machine. Yes. They were a good, solid team, though, but normally they were always coming up short against another team. They never got a chance to play for a number 1 contendership. But with Lightning Time, him and Liz, this is the first time he's going to be playing for that. Same for Liz, too. Her first championship that she's going to be fighting for. And just going in on this match, first off, it was kind of amazing to see that this Liz and Ethan were going to be playing like literally in the same place with each other. So it was kind of interesting. I was kind of curious after that promo, seeing Liz and Ethan in the same spot. Like, are they going to be playing together in the same place, or this was just for the promo? And then when we see them being introduced, yep, they're literally just sitting right next to each other.
You know what? There's something so nice about that in the digital era. Do you see that happen? Mm-hmm. And I mean, yeah, there's something nice about that. So why don't we get into it? Round 1. What do you have to say about round 1?
Well, round 1 definitely was the most interesting because all 4 players in teams matches in the past have achieved perfect rounds. So it was really interesting to see if this was going to be kind of like when Final Exam went up against Founding Fathers, where Paul and Lon were able to get perfect rounds both for each other. But right within, I think after the third, fourth question, Lon misses a question, then Liz misses a question, and then once we get towards the end, Ethan and Paul miss a question, so there's no perfect rounds here. But even then, Liz and Ethan were still able to at least have enough points to have a 1-point lead going into that second round. So I am without a doubt incredibly impressed. Yeah, Lon. Obviously, with Lon's performances, everyone was unsure which Lon Harris we were going to get. But even then, despite his performance, he always works well with Paul and Winston. So Even if he may have stumbled a little bit in that first round, I knew he was going to make up the ground in the second round, even in the third round.
Absolutely.
Shows.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to say, you can tell Paul and Vaughn have a really good back and forth together playing teams. They get each other and they have good chemistry.
They do. And even then, Winston loves working with the both of them too.
Yep. Round two.
Oh, go ahead.
Are we going to bring up round two? Do you have anything more to say about round one?
Well, really not much on round one. I mean, there's no challenges thrown out there, but I do like the fact that we do see on some of the play, we do get to see that even though this is a friendly competition between both teams, there are moments, there were times when I saw Liz and Lon miss questions that they were a little visibly upset. Not like they're breaking character or anything, but on rewatching, you can tell that when they hear the answer and they're just like, oh my God, it does sound like it was something they clearly knew off the back of their hand. It was just in that moment within those 15 seconds, it just wasn't leaving their brain.
Yeah.
And especially with this match, I mean, Christian, he's obviously going to do the championship match live. So this has to be a situation to where, at least for, and this is not a dig at Liz, because this can happen on any match at any time, especially with the questions coming out here. But I do believe going up against Shazam, you need to at least go near perfect or be within 2 or 1 point from them in order to at least push them for them to make a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how? So they're going to face Shazam, right?
Yes.
So who do you think could win that match?
I mean, now that the buzzards are, if it's going to be live and the buzzards are back, I do think that Lightning Time has a big edge because from what I saw Ethan going up against Dan Murrell. And at the same time, Liz has been very she has been very crucial when it comes with 5-pointers with Lightning Time. She was able to pull a big 5-pointer for them to beat the Outsiders. She was able to work out a 5-pointer for them to push Danger Zone and beat them. So believe me when I say that Liz, when it comes at least with the final rounds, Liz is definitely a key player. My big thing is how the betting round is going to work. The betting and that speed round.
Yeah. The betting round is tricky because you really can't. I mean, yeah, you can prepare for it, but when it comes to you really have to. You can't have like a set in stone plan going into it. Do you know what I mean? It really is a spur of the moment decision that you have to come up with right then.
Yeah, it is. And sometimes, depending on the category, you have no idea exactly what question you're get. Like if you spin, let's say in the theoretical sense, it's Shazam versus Lightning Time, and they get to the third round for the betting, they spin, and then they land on dance movies, which Ethan and Liz have been great in. And they decide, you know what, they're going to be bold and bet 3 points, Shazam, even though and Bibiani, he's been very passionate about dance movies as well, so maybe he'll go 3 or 2 points. And then all of a sudden it gets a question that stumps both teams. And depending on what the score is after that second round, that definitely can change the flow of the game going into that speed round. The betting round has always, no matter what format it is, digital or live, the betting round always is going to be a game changer.
Yeah.
Regardless of that, seeing how going in with this match with Lightning Time and Final Exam, going in that second round, I like the back and forth with Winston and Sam though. Like Winston comes in, he's bringing up like past experiences, like, oh, I love Liz, but I trained Liz, I got her to this moment, and then all of a sudden she leaves us for better pastures. Like he's trying to be all nice, but then trying to do trash talk. And then when Sam comes in, he just goes, well, Liz is with us. I mean, we have all respect for you, Winston, but it's like she's with the better team or something. Like I love that Winston and Sam came to play just spitting like as managers.
Yeah, you can tell they have a real. They get along really good, and you can tell that.
Yeah.
Well, Lightning Time goes first, right?
Yes, they did. They went first up. No. I think they deferred to final exam.
Okay. Okay, final exam went first, and they got Academy Award-winning movie, right?
I believe on their, I think it was their second spin. They got Oscars.
And what did you think of that?
I'm 100% impressed with Paul. Paul 100%. Paul, without doubt, despite how his season has been this year, when he gets a category, he comes to play. I mean, sure, in Inner Geekdom, he stumbled a little bit on X-Men. But even then, when he got something he was confident in, he showed without doubt in my mind that he wanted this. He came to play. And seeing how even Lon was backing him up too. Like their first three questions, Lon immediately was just spitting out, "Oh, it's this," and then Paul just goes, "Yeah, I know it's this." And then it switches later on to where Paul says, "Oh, it's this question. It's this." So you do see that when. Oh no, wait! I remember now. It wasn't Oscars their second spin. They got Spinner's Choice because at first
right.
I believe they spun a category. They spun away from it. Then they land on Spinner's Choice, and then they picked Oscars.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. And like you said, Paul nominated that round, right?
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
And that is there.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I just pulled up the match. It was not Oscars. They picked Akira Kurosawa.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm sorry.
They landed on Oscars in the first spin, and then they spun over.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone's joining this and they're seeing us stumble on this, and you're thinking to yourself, did they even watch the match? No. Trust me, guys. There's a lot we're covering here. And no excuses, though, but it's been like 5 days since I watched that match. So, but yeah, they got Akira Kurosawa, and this was Paul's round. He just dominated everything.
Right.
I mean, of course, Lon came to help. Lon did come with a couple of questions, but it was clearly Paul's category that he took on, and he got everything. Didn't even need to go to multiple choice.
Good on Paul. I'm impressed. And then Lightning Time, right? And they got important choice.
Yes, they did. And that is when they gave them Oscars. That's
right. Okay. All right. And you know they did okay. Yeah. They did okay. Like most teams had 24 by the end of the round.
But go ahead.
I'm going to go to say, what are your thoughts about Lightning Time in round 2?
But it was kind of interesting, though, when they got Opponent's Choice and Oscars, we were expecting some very difficult questions there. And they did check to Opponent's Choice. I mean, they did check to multiple choice, I believe, once. But even then, like Liz, she just came in, just like Paul Leon, she was fire. She just knocked down a question. And even though it's kind of funny, you do see that even afterwards, I know Winston makes this kind of joke to where they get Akira Kurosawa, but they give them Oscars and they get the easiest ass questions in the world. But I do love that. Like you do see, like with Liz, just holding a little stuffed animal as she's staring down. Question after question comes, and she's just like, "Oh, it's this, it's this, it's this." Like it was amazing. So it definitely goes to show you, regardless in this teams match, this is a prime example. Even if you get Opponent's Choice, sometimes the questions will work your way, especially when it comes with a category like Oscars.
Absolutely. Like I said, they both ended the round at 24, leading into round 3.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the third round?
Well, I will say in the final round, this really was, honestly, it came down to who was going to miss first. And a part of me was wondering if Liz or Lon or Ethan or Paul, depending on the points they picked, were they going to miss. But without missing a beat, obviously, just showing that teamwork they had in round 2, Lon and Paul were able to nail their 2 and 3s, and then they got their 5-pointer. Same with Ethan and Liz when they got their 2 and 3, and then going that 5-pointer, putting us into sudden death. It really just shows. I keep saying that a lot, but it proves exactly why Sam had teamed Ethan and Liz.
They're a great team, and I think it helps that they were really good friends beforehand, so they know a lot of shorthands, and they know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and they know what the other one needs to set the other one up. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes perfect sense when you're working on a team with somebody. If you're in studio or on digital, you gotta be able to say like the right words, or just know exactly what you need to get your partner like really in that mindset.
Yeah, yeah. Picking a partner for a team is so important. You have to pick the right person. You can't just can't take two people at random and put them together. Most of the time.
Most of the time,
There
I mean,
are
yeah.
there are exceptions, like the odd couple. Who would have thought that worked, and who would have thought they would have laughed as long as they did, but they worked.
Anarchy was kind of one of those opportunities to where you can just pick random people and put them together and see how it works. And we do see the successful teams that came out of it, like the Founding Fathers, like Corruption, like the Odd Couple. I mean, even though there were some short teams, like even though there were some teams that only had like a short run, but seeing the Evil Genius work together, they were good. Seeing Haley Fouch, that short team she had with Eric Zipper, they looked like they had great potential. I mean, Brianna Chandler and Drew McWeeny. Seriously, that was a great team. And even the emergence of the Harris brothers off of Evil Geniuses was a great team.
Well, and don't forget, who's the boss? That was a good team that lasted a while.
Yeah, they really were. It was just one of the downsides of when it came to the Anarchy tournament, or like when scheduling just came in, like they just couldn't last. Especially when we got to the nuke. Honestly, the nuke literally destroyed it. Like it did, it just destroyed everything the Schmoedown had and just brought it back. Hello, hi Teresa.
Yeah. Okay, so they both ended round 3.
They got all their questions in round 3, and we just got to overtime. I think this is the first time Lightning Time has been into sudden death, and this is the second time I believe Final Exam has been into sudden death as well.
Yeah, I think they were. When we need him, I think they were in sudden death with Founding Fathers. Is that sound right?
Actually, I'm double checking their record. No, this is their first time in sudden death. I'm not seeing sudden death against Founding Fathers or against any other team. No, this just okay. This is their first time in sudden death. I was wrong. I thought too they win sudden death against Founding Fathers, but no, they won at their. I'm going back. No, they won on their 5-point question. So.
We almost won. Moving on to the next match.
Well, let's talk about the sudden death for a second.
Okay, I'm sorry. What are your thoughts about the sudden death?
I was blown away, honestly. I was blown away. They went 7 questions deep before they finally got a victory, and 3 of those times, oh my god, it was most likely where Liz and Lon had gotten a different question. It was whenever they got a question, it was always like a 50-50. It's like, oh, I picked this one, and then Ethan and Oyama got the right ones. It literally was kind of like every time you saw like when Lon and Liz didn't get the right answer that Paul and Ethan did, it was literally, come on! I mean, oh my god. It wasn't like, what the hell? It was literally the shock faces that you have when you see a twist in a Game of Thrones episodes, like, what?
Now, to me, that becomes an interesting point. Have we seen the last of Final Exam?
That is a great concern you brought up there, Teresa. And even I'll even say after this match, a couple days later, I did go into the Facebook group, and there were some posts people were making that maybe Final Exam could be done, that maybe that Paul needs a new partner. and these are all valid concerns. But personally, to me, if looking at the record they have, I would say no. But we shouldn't forget that Paul is a free-for-all winner. Now, if he wants to, he can use his free-for-all ticket to go for a team's championship, or maybe he'll want to do singles again. Maybe he want to get that championship, depending where his run in the tournament's going to go. But I don't know. I mean, Lon Harris has been one of the most entertaining facets of Final Exam, because if Final Exam is over, I personally think that's goodbye to the delinquent.
Oh, really?
That's how I feel. Because I know Lon, because even Lon has, I think Lon said in an after show that he was invited onto that the delinquent character, even though it's great, within 2 months of digital, he ran out of a lot of material. He said when it came with Professor and the delinquent, he ran out of material very quickly for both of them. So it was always difficult for him to keep them going. But with the delinquent, though, it worked perfectly because digital actually took what the delinquent could have been, maybe if this was done in studio, a 3-4 match character, and digital was able to stretch that out into an entire season. Because let's not forget, last season with the delinquent, he was the most fun character, most entertaining character that even when they played against Shazam, Brendan Meyer decided to adopt the delinquent persona. And it led to a great intro with Bibiani trying to be like, kid, what are you doing? You need to get out of this right now. You need to stop, take things seriously. Bibiani trying to be the parent in their partnership.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That you bring up a really interesting point. Even the studio, would the delinquent played as good? And I think you're right, I don't think so. There's only so much you can do in the studio. For that character alone, and playing digital really helped that character. I think you're right about that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That character was made for digital, in my opinion.
Yeah. But I will admit that sudden death was so, oh my God. Seeing them miss through, oh my God. I love the fact that the winning question was from Draft Day, because I actually do love that movie, even though it's kind of problematic. But even then, I do like the fact that, oh my God, that Tom Cruise and Elizabeth Shue question, it literally was between two. And then seeing Paul's reaction when Lon and Liz missed that, I was in that same boat too. I'm going, you gotta be kidding me. But it was all in good fun. The whole thing was all in good fun. And I do love the fact that after when they won, you get that great shot of Liz and Ethan just giving themselves high fives when they're.
Yeah, that was funny. I like that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I liked about. That's one of the things I do look forward to when we get back to studio matches. Seeing partners like give themselves a congratulatory high five or a hug or a good handshake. I can't wait to see that again.
We're almost there, man. I think we're almost there.
We're so close already, man. We got now with Lightning Time and winning. We now have 4 championships set to defend. Now, I mean, we got Liz and Ethan and Marisol for the 12th. Whenever we're going to find out when Lightning Time is going to face up against Shazam, and whenever we're going to find out Mike going up against Amaru, and then Harper going up against Dimolanta, which that one needs to, I think that one definitely needs a championship defense immediately, because, man, it worries me, because with those brackets that were posted, it's like, is he going to push this until November? Because it does seem to me that Christian right now wants to get the singles. He wants to get all round 1 singles out the way. So then once he starts, maybe when he's towards round 2 or round 3 of the tournament, then he's going to start recording for teams in Star Wars. That's how I feel.
I don't know, man. I mean, there's a lot of matches that have to happen in singles.
Well, I mean, we went through like mainly the dance. We did. I mean, there's already we're almost through with the right side of the bracket, and I'm pretty sure next week or the following weeks we're gonna get the left side of the bracket of those matches coming out soon.
I mean, we'll see. Are we ready to move on to the second match?
Let's go. Let's move on to the next match.
Okay.
Moose.
What did you think about this? Wuhan. What did you think about this? Wuhan.
Now, this match was very, very interesting. I was able to I was there at Scum and Villainy, getting a chance to watch this match, seeing the stakes going into this for Chance, because at the time, now that we've seen JTE versus Chance happen, we know that Chance is on the road for a singles championship, and Chance definitely wanted to recreate that magic he did last year in the Inner Geekdom tournament. But just like with so many, and from what we saw with Chandru, and also, we've seen it twice with Chandru, these new slices are really being like crippled. They really are they're the new hand. They're kind of like when you play a video game, you think you're doing well on legend, you think you're doing well on the expert mode, but then you come across a level or a certain boss that just cripples you or handicaps you down to make you think that you haven't been working hard at all. That's exactly what these new slices was doing to Chandru when he went against Mara and again against Mike. And we definitely saw that again. And we definitely saw that here with Chance going up against Moose Haas, especially in that first round, though. Jeez.
Yeah, it was a rough first round. Chance only got 5 and Moose only got 6.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about this round 1?
Well, from what I just said, yeah, these new questions definitely are becoming more of the trump cards, or like the ace up the sleeve for question writers now. Especially when you're so used to studying the core 8 geek categories, these new ones will throw you off there. But even after with the Chance being behind by 1 point, I just thought just like with round 2, just like with so many other Inner Geekdom players, it just takes one slice in round 2 to get you moving forward. Unfortunately, though, for Chance, it just wasn't working out for him in this case.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It's too bad, man. Well, let's get into round 2.
Yeah.
Chance got Ninja Turtles.
Yes, he did. Oh, wait. No, he got Star Wars.
Yeah, okay. Chance got Star Wars and Moose got Ninja Turtles.
That's correct.
Okay. But I don't know, my notes are all messed up. I'm sorry, man. What did you think of this round?
Well, the Star Wars questions, I really was kind of surprised that they had that certain level of difficulty. Because normally with Star Wars, from what I've seen from the match with from so far this season, at least in Inner Geekdom, Star Wars has been somewhere between an easy to medium level of difficulty when it comes with guessing the questions. But then the ones that Chance got, man, they really took him down there. He had to check the multiple choice 3 times. And he only gets 1 question right. And that was really, I won't say it was rough, but it really was something to where you have to think really hard on and just say, damn, I did not think for 1 second that Star Wars was going to trip Chance up, especially how in some of his matches he got Star Wars for like a 2 or a 3-pointer, and he was able to blaze through those.
Do you think now that we're getting more categories and more Star Wars in the kingdom, do you think they're going to questions are going to get more like the Star Wars questions, like get more deep cut? Or do you think this was just like a flick or something?
Well, I think with these new categories there, back now with these new categories implemented, I think I've said this before, if you're thinking of trying to be a 3-division player, you're really going to have to, I won't say second doubt yourself, but it's just more of you're really going to have to think hard about this. Because now, just like with singles and teams, the field on Inner Geekdom is starting to spread out. And you can't rely on your laurels anymore. I've never said that, and it's not like Chance ever did. Neither with any other player. It's just that Mark Haas or Moose, he came in very fresh. So he was already like up and ready to go. And drawing back to what Mike said in his in his match against actually we've not got there yet, but I will do a sneak preview. When Mike said in his before his match against Chandru started, Mike admitted that when he's playing in different divisions, he does get a little cocky, he rests on his laurels a little bit to where he'll end up, falling apart in a match. And he has self-admitted that. And I think maybe, I'm not saying Chance maybe needs to step back from Inner Geekdom, but he has been playing in so many different divisions. Maybe next year, Chance should decide if he is going to go all three, he's really, really going to have to put the pedal to the metal.
Do you? I think going for 3 belts in 1 year is one too many, in my opinion. You're not enough understanding when you get them for singles, for teams. I don't think I could do it. Can you?
Well, I think you just need to get used to it, honestly, because I've gotten used to. I mean, let's say if I've gotten used to watching Mike do very well in teams and Inner Geekdom to where when he was trying to be a 3-division player, I'm going, you know what? It makes a lot of sense. He has worked his ass off in Inner Geekdom, and he works his ass off to be a great team partner for Chance or whenever he plays. That singles does make sense for him to continue in. Same with Chance. Chance busted his ass in singles and teams. So when he stretched out to Inner Geekdom last year, proved that he can do it. It was just that this year, his loss against Robert Parker and then his loss again against Moose Haas, it is showing that, okay, his sophomore year in Inner Geekdom, bit of a setback, but he can always bounce back from that.
I'm curious if he's going to play IG next season. Or if he's going to say, I'm just going to stick with singles and teams for now. It's going to be very, very interesting.
Well, if Chance is able to grab the singles championship, I would not be surprised if he decides he's gonna go into Inner Geekdom again. I would not be surprised.
Okay. What do you think about Moose's round 2?
Oh, Moose. He definitely bounced back against his loss against Amaru, without doubt. He stayed calm. He 100% was able to get every question. Well, I mean, he did check down the multiple choice, preventing Chance from stealing from him. But man, he stayed 100% focused. I mean, gained 13 points at the end of round 2. He clearly shows that he's not going to slow down. Yes, he lost to Amaru and he came up short. But even then, against Chance, he got something like Ninja Turtles. He's able to nail it. He's able to nail it down. I mean, yeah, like I say, he goes to multiple choice, so he only gets 7 out of 10 points. But even then, he prevents Chance from getting a steal from him.
Now he knows his turtles. That makes me happy. I'm sorry. I was a big Ninja Turtles fan growing up. I don't know about you, but I like that stuff. So back into round 3. What do you think about round 3 with these two?
Well, unfortunately with Chance, this was not his time. He gets his 2-point question, but he misses that 3 and 5-pointer for the TKO from Moose, and it was kind of heartbreaking a little bit. I mean, I was not rooting for either guys, but it would have been very interesting to see Chance move up and go up against Saul. That would have been very interesting. But the Finn Stock Exchange delivers a TKO to Chance, and man, I have to admit that was that. I think this is the first time that Chance has been TKO'd. So that really was a little it was a little rough.
Yeah. Well, he's not good. Maybe next season, man. Maybe next season. So, who does Moose go out and play? Is it Saul?
Moose Haas is going to play against Saul. Yeah, in the next round of the tournament.
Who do you think can win that match? You have to pick.
That's a difficult one, honestly. Right now with Saul, no idea how he works in round 3, but I think this is going to be one of the first times where we do see in round 3 where we're going to see finally what Saul's capable of. Because Moose, every match he's played, his 3 matches he's played so far, outside the TKO, well, he KO'd Jacob Woodabin, but we did see him in round 3 against Amaru. So we do know exactly, at least he can definitely get his 2 and 3-pointer. But with Saul, we've not seen that yet. I mean, he TKO lost to Amaru. We do know that at least when it comes with a difficult question like the 3 and 5-pointer, he misses. But just like with any match, it depends on the questions you get. Honestly, there's really not much to tell here.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty straightforward match. No challenges, no controversy. Just 2 people playing, and 70% didn't look up for him, but let's see what happens next with him. The next one, we have, who do we have? Paul Yama with Nick Harley. What are your overall thoughts about this match going into it?
Okay, I mean, 2 former champions going head to head in that first round. I will say this was a big test for Nick Harley for singles coming up from FCL. Obviously, I mean, he's proven his mettle being the FCL champion. And people did not watch his championship match in the FCL against Kofi Outlaw. They went to sudden death, and they went like 6-7 questions deep before Nick won the championship. So he definitely can hang in singles. And the format there was no different than the format here in the movie in the Schmoedown. So I had a feeling that Nick was going to give Paul a very good competitive match. It wasn't until I watched it, and man, that's I mean, Paul nearly about to go perfect, missing one answer, but having a 2-point lead going into the first round, Paul definitely shows off his. I mean, it was simple. Paul being the veteran, he's able to get ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, that first round was good. Not really hoping for a perfect round like you, but 7-5, there's nothing to sneeze at, really solid.
I mean, he came close to a perfect round. He came close.
Yeah.
I will not doubt that.
And now we're going to round 2. Okay. What category did Paul get? You have it there? Hello? Oh, are you frozen? Did I lose you? And you are frozen, man. Okay, so it's me. Hi. So, yeah. So round 2 happened, and by the end of round 2, it's 14-12, Paul in the lead, and Paul got classics, right? And who did Nick get? What did Nick get? Oh, here comes Ryan. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, good.
Okay.
What categories did Paul and Nick get? I was trying to figure that out.
Nick got Reese Witherspoon on his second spin, and
Right,
he was able to get that category. And then Paul got classics, which he also was able to dominate in that category as well. So honestly, there really isn't much to be said about round 2, but to show the impressive knowledge that both Nick and Paul had. seeing Harley just get every Reese Witherspoon question was incredible. Especially unknown. I mean, when it comes to Reese Witherspoon, she has a very wide background. I mean, during the 2000s, she was in a lot of rom-coms, but even then, she did at least have herself a very solid filmography. So seeing that Nick was able to get every question there and sweep that category, not even allowing for one moment for Paul to steal, very impressive. And same with Paul, getting classics, something that most people in the Schmoedown have stayed clear of when it comes with like certain slices, like classic scores and soundtracks, Oscar movies. And Paul just took classics, like, you know what, I'm gonna take it. He has nothing to lose, and he gets every question as well.
That is a true sign of a championship player. When you don't even let the more obscure categories get you down. He embraces it and he dominates it. It was awesome to see. What did you think?
Like, Paul is showing his veteran side as a player, especially when it came to classic questions. There was a few he had to stop, think about for a second, and then he was able to get the answer. I mean, he did have to check down the multiple choice once because one question was kind of no, actually he didn't, because he came close to multiple choice and then he just said screw it. He went all the way in for it and he ended up getting that 2-point question. Really showing impressive that if you play against Paul and classics is there, you need to study up on that just in case you get opponent's choice or you land on that on your second spin.
Absolutely. And that's going to go through the final round. Having said that, what are your thoughts about this round?
Well, that match, well, normally it was seen with Nick Harley in the past from his his time on FCL, he was always able to get his questions, but this time they were just not fortunate enough for him. But at the same time, going back to round one, him using using 2 JTEs, that definitely it hurt him, especially when he got to his 3-point question. He had to use that repeat to think about it. He couldn't pull it off. So honestly, maybe if he had not used that repeat for the 30-pointer and maybe for the 5-pointer, he would have pulled it off. But even then, for that 5-pointer, that Percy Jackson question, that look on his face, even he knew he didn't know it, and that it secured Paul's victory.
Yeah, that was hard. It was a little heartbreaking. But Paul wins 16 or 14. Paul goes to the next round. Do we know who he'll play yet or no?
Oh, I don't have the bracket on hand right now, so I don't know who his potential opponent gonna be.
Well, I guess we'll find out, but should be interesting, and hopefully there's a belt in his future. Whether not in 6 verses in one. Hopefully a single.
Okay, hold on. I'm pulling it up right now. Let me see. Where's Paul Harley? Paul Harley. Yeah, they're gonna play. Oh yeah, they did mention they're gonna play either Barbarian or Doralde.
Ooh. Okay, what do you think? Who can Paul meet it?
Well, I can't predict. I really can't predict that there. I just know Barbarian or Doralde are gonna have a tough opponent against Oyama coming up.
I hope that Paul versus the Barbarian. That would be great. That would be a fun match you want. What do you think?
I kind of want to go for Doralde because he's not had the best luck in singles when he plays. So I do want to see him move forward. But Barbarian, he has been on. There are many people who want Barbarian to get this victory, and I can't hold that against them. Barbarian is a great character. He is a great competitor.
Yeah, he is. Hell, he helped Gucci pick out all these great players this season in the North End.
Yes,
I wanted to see him know his shit. I want to bring him on. Alright, so the match we've been waiting to talk about. Mike KO versus Chandru. What did you think about this match going into it?
I mean, what can be done about this? There is a lot, honestly. Mike had, without a doubt, the biggest hill going up against him. Chandru had proven that he's a great interacting player, and he defended the championship. And with Mike's record and championships, everyone always kept saying the same argument. Oh, you've never defended it. You've never defended the championship. Honestly, if you see this movie Trivia League, not everyone can be Dan Murrell. Not everyone, or the Patriots, or the Shire Wolves. Even the Shire Wolves, when they won against Who's the Boss, was a very, very close victory. And even then, nobody is that skilled enough in movie trivia to be able to defend the championship twice, 3 times, or even once. So as far as I'm concerned, when it came with Mike Kalinowski, he had nothing to prove to anybody, only something to prove to himself, which he did say in his little promo. And I'm glad Mike came in with that fire because he showed everybody watching, even to everyone who kept doing the whole "you can't defend it." He proved them all wrong. He made them eat their words.
I loved how Mike was towards Chandru at the beginning. I mean, you were there. What was it like to see Mike basically smack Chandru around in the promo at the beginning? How was that watching it live?
Of course, being there live, I didn't know the promo that they were going to do, like the video package promo. So seeing that first live, Mike just ripping into chants about, yeah, you've talked all this stuff about me. And then I loved everything was building up to he was like really, it was everything, he put it all out there. He put his passion on the line. He put everything out there against Chance. And Chance being a great heel character is just more of, it's like, wow, I didn't think you'd have all that in you, But then watching this video again with that promo package and then this, I'm going, obviously those two just don't, it's black and white. It's really black and white.
Well, I mean,
but I will say this: Chandru did a great job antagonizing people with the whole thick belt, coming out dressed like Harley Quinn from Birds of Prey, and then Mike just being calm, cool, and collected, and this tears into him. I love how he just says, "You don't have my respect. Yeah, you can attack me for my record, attack me for this." And then, of course, brings up that controversial thing that Chandru did on Twitter that really got a lot of people angry. Him attacking Mike with that photo of him, Rachel, Mara, and Smets on there. Like, it really divided the community. And, of course, some people were already like, oh, he's a heel. He can't do this. No work. You guys are overreacting. When I'm like, I see where Chandru's coming from as a heel. But when you take the context of a photo like that with those 4 in there, and then you just grab it just to lob an insult, I can understand why people were pissed off at Chandru for doing that. Legit pissed off at him for doing that.
Yeah,
and then I understand on the kayfabe side, everyone's going, "Oh my god, he's just being a heel. He's just doing that," and it's just more. Yeah, go ahead.
How I look at it is one thing you go after your opponent like that. But when you go after people who are not in the league right now, like Smith or Rachel, or even Mara doing a point, I mean, Mara's in the league, but she's not playing right now.
But at the time when that photo was taken, she was not in the league.
Right. And then cross a line that, yeah, I see why people got upset. To be honest, in the back of my mind, I was like thinking, you know what would be cool? If Mike won, it would have been cool for all of them to show up to congratulate him. How awesome would that have been?
Well, I mean, look. Regardless how everyone feels about that, even though so many people are thinking he crossed the line, it worked so much more into Mike's speech because I did reference it when we were talking about Chance and Moose, but Mike did say last time he was double belted, he got cocky. he thought he was on top of the world. And what happens? He loses it all. He lost the teams. He lost the Inner Geekdom belt. He had to rebuild himself back up. And I loved how he said to Chance, you should have been praying I won that belt. You should have been praying I came out on top. That way, Mike would have came in being all cocky and arrogant to where he would not have put out the performance he had against Chandler. The fact he was one belted, it was like you brought out the worst side in Mike, and he just went in. He just went in.
It was so great. That's not just round one. Chandler got perfect, Mike got 8. What did you think about this round?
Wait, what was that?
Chandler got 9, Mike got 8. Am I wrong?
No, yeah, you're right. I thought you said he went perfect for a second. I'm like, wait, Chandler didn't go perfect.
No, I know why. Okay, perfect would mean 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the perfect is 10 points.
Okay, I got that confused.
No, it's okay. Okay, everyone team. I mean, it always slips our minds. Honestly, some people tend to forget. Some people lose track of the different stakes for the different point system for Inner Geekdom and for singles. But yeah, even then, yeah, it was still a 1-point differential going in there. The fact that Chandru did not get perfect, I think that to me it kind of did spell the end for him.
Okay.
Because Chandru, when he plays up against great opponents, he needs to go perfect or near perfect. Like he needs to get 10 or 11 points. I'm not saying Chandru needs to be the best, but if he wants to have that attitude, that cocky ass attitude, he needs to put up points as if he earns it. So
going to round 2. Chandru got X-Men. And what did Mike get? Comic book movies?
Mike did get comic book movies, yeah.
Okay. What did you think of this round?
I think Chance really should not have kept X-Men. I mean, or at least he should have been aware how difficult the questions were going to be. I mean, sure, he wasn't watching the matches against Paul, and he wasn't watching the other Inner Geekdom matches. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. But honestly, with X-Men, it was something like, yes, should have spun it again. I understand Winston was there to say, like, look, whatever happens, you can check out a choice, or you can move forward. To me, Chandler should have tried to spin again. Having watched some of the Inner Geekdom matches, seeing how difficult those X-Men questions were, and they did hurt him. Much more different than just getting X-Men questions if they were in Marvel, if they were in the Marvel slice.
Right. What did you think of Mike's round 2 with comic book movies?
Oh my God, it was like Mike was at home.
Yeah. He dominated that round, and you could feel the shift snuck through, right? You could feel the tables turning at the end of round 2, right?
Yeah, it was. I do admit, with the questions there. I mean, the fact that Chandler had to check down the multiple choice a couple times on those questions, you did see that he was getting into his head a lot more. Sure, he was he was still like, yeah, I'm being cocky or so, but those moments you see on camera where he's like standing there and he has to really think about it, he was getting in his way. But it didn't change anything with how Mike got comic book movies and just decimated that goddamn thing.
Good on Mike. He needed that. So the opinion round happens. What do you think about this round?
Well, this round or the second round or the third round?
The third round, the betting round.
This proves why I believe the betting round is without a doubt the game changer. I mean, they spin that wheel for that third round and they get a good slice. I will admit. I can't remember. Was comic movies again or was DC?
It had to be DC, I think.
Oh, animated. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 100% animated because it does prove that these new slices, they are without a doubt. I can't every time I try to find that word, it slips my mind. But like I said before, Chandru, these new slices are proving to 100% be kryptonite. I'll just use that word right now. They're proving kryptonite against Chandru. He just cannot. No, wait a minute. I'm really not sure if it was animated they got. I mean,
I think it was DC. No, I think Mike was so happy he got DC.
Wait a minute, let me think about it. Yeah, it was. It was DC. Yeah. Okay, because I remember when they spun that, Mike had this little popped up excited look on his face, like, yeah, it was DC. Okay. And Mike just going like very confident, betting 3 points, and then Chandru only betting 2. That was where Chandru really should have tried to bet the farm on this one. He really should have tried. Yes, they both got it correct. But once again, it just shows like you need to really hit hard. But then, of course, that buzzard round came in, and man, we finally do see that this is a round that Chandru was not experienced in that buzzard round. It was obvious he adapted very well to the digital fast money for the round, and something like that does benefit him. But when it came with this was where Chandru he was trying to be more in character instead of answering the question. And because of that, he missed 2 questions that really cost him going in.
Yeah. And every time Mike answered, he got it right.
Exactly.
So,
and even when Chandru was getting frustrated, you do see that Winston was there as a good manager to really get him back and get him back in the game. But it was just like another situation. You really should have practiced more and more on trying to with the speed round, and that's why I like the fact that these buzzers with these championships being live. I've already seen on groups where people are complaining like, no, we should stick with fast money. It's more better for a trivia game. Like, no, it doesn't, because if you do this live, we even talked about this with Soda. We do this stuff live. There's so many factors in there to work around. There's no chance in hell you can do a fast money like this unless you have a built-in sound booth to where they can't hear anything. And even something like that would take a lot of time to set up and build. And they don't have, and they can't do that.
No, they can't. I mean, I like fast money, but it's not practical. You can't do it in a live setting.
I mean, people want to use Family Feud as an example, but Family Feud that's already an established state. That stage is there. It's owned by the company that produces the show, and they have that there they record shows there every day. So
and it's not live. It's not live. Family Feud is not.
I know. I wasn't gonna say it's not live. Yeah, but even then, when they're pre-recording episodes on Family Feud, they already have themselves something built in there because they have the money to produce that, and because this set stage is part of the production company, they don't have to worry like Christian and the others, where they have to go in there, set up, arrange seating, and then when it's all over, they have to clean up everything so everyone else can leave. They're on limited borrowed time when Christian and the Schmodown have these places they go to, especially at Scum and Villainy.
Right. Well, Mike beat Chandru in that round.
Mm-hmm.
They go into the 5th round. What do you explain this round?
This round, I was hoping Chandru would lose by TKO, honestly, because of his character. Because of the character, yeah. I thought I would have brought his character down a peg if he had lost by TKO. And also, I think it would have helped. I think it would have been much sweeter in the post interview to where he just loses his crap, implodes, and then maybe turns on Winston. Especially the fact that his season is done. But I'm impressed that he was able to get his 3 and his 5-pointer. I mean, that 3-pointer in Back to the Future, and of course the 5-pointer in comic book movies. I mean, come on, not surprising. But I did love when it was Mike's turn, when he got of course, getting that 2-point question easy. But I did love though when Chandru, he knew that 5-pointer, so he decided to be an asshole.
Oh my god!
Just because Christian was having a hard time pronouncing irradiated.
I think it was the second time he said it. I mean, and Hogan celebrated, I don't know. There's a part of me that thinks Hogan wanted to flip them off so bad, you know what I mean?
Oh, he kind of did. He did. It's probably not on the YouTube version, but I was there live. And when he was asked to repeat it again, and when he got it, he just pretty much did a suck it to Chance. I mean, the Chancer.
Yeah, no, that's on it, but that's on the YouTube, but I think he wanted to do
I
middle
believe he
finger.
did. The moment it was to Mike, because after Christian read that question and then it went back to Chance, I did see him do a subtle like this to him.
You mean
But it was But then of course I love how Mike, when he got that 3-pointer in Jurassic Park, he went back to the Mike that he played. He went back to the Kalinowski when he played against Mara for the championship. He took his sweet ass time to answer it, but this was much more sweeter because all he did was he repeated the question. Once he knew it, he's just like, "Can you repeat the question?" And then he puts his glasses on, pulls out that picture. He was gonna go into this big spiel, but he's like, "Fuck it, Judy Greer," and then there it is.
And Mike defends it for the first time.
Mike, he does the best Tom Cruise impression, honestly, with those glasses. Just.
What do you think of this win? And what do you think now that Mike has defended the belt?
Well, since he's defended the belt, I'm glad so many people can just shut up about his credibility as a champion. If we've seen with Inner Geekdom, the fact that it's so in-depth, even with Star Wars, it takes so much time for people to win one match, let alone win 2 or 3 to challenge for the championship. So, with Inner Geekdom, I'm okay if someone wins a belt and they can't defend it. It doesn't tear away their credibility as a movie trivia champion, honestly. Because let's not forget, in sports don't defend their championships. Baseball, basketball, football, soccer, any team that wins a championship, they don't set to defend it the next year. No, it's just they win the championship and they got to see if they can pull it off again the following year. The only sports where championships are defended is boxing, wrestling, and kickboxing, the physical contact sports. And is movie trivia physical contact? Outside of Andrew Guy tackling somebody? Hell no. So as far as I'm concerned with movie trivia, sure, you win a championship, you get an opportunity to defend it. But even then, with classic stuff like when there's these Genius Bowls or these little competitions for schools to win a championship, even schools don't defend it the next year. They enter again and they play again. So when it comes to championships, you win something, it proves that you're great to win it. I just think we're so caught up in this luster of people defending something to where it's like, oh, you're not a real champion if you haven't defended it. And yet you're wearing a Dallas Cowboys jersey with a team that has yet to win another championship since the 90s. Or you're wearing an LA Chargers jersey. And as someone from San Diego, no, the Chargers have never won a championship. So please, I understand everyone's passion and everyone wanted to pull the statistics on defending of belts. Calm down, everybody. In the end, this is just movie trivia. No one's lives are going to be ruined over this, unless you're betting money, which you shouldn't.
You know what? This would be fun to bet on. In Vegas, can you imagine going to Vegas, going to a sport book and saying, I want to put $50 on KO to win this match?
Oh my God. Yeah, have DraftKings just always have a certain section on the DraftKings app or mybookie.com and just be like, movie trivia showdown. The lowest you can bet is $1. Highest you can bet is $50.
Yeah, that would be really fun. I hope we get there one day. Yeah, that would be fun.
It would just be something to do just for curiosity's sake. I really wouldn't want that to be a thing because I've seen so many people bet hundreds of dollars or even thousands of dollars on a football game or a boxing match. I'm just like, ooh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Be careful, guys.
Yeah. Oh, double responsibility.
Yes.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Mm.
Oh, that's a week of matches. What are your overall thoughts about this week, my man?
With all 4 of these matches, including the pay-per-view, this was a great way to close off August, honestly. I really was impressed with the knowledge of all these competitors. We had some upsets. We had some feel-good moments here. So I really am looking forward to what Christian has prepared for us for September while he's building towards October for the New York event. I mean, that Scum and Villainy taping's coming up so soon, and part of me wants to know what matches are going to be defended there because I'm still on the fence of going to go there or not.
You should go there. That would be fun.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that for 1 second. I guess just to me, it's all about time, though.
Gotcha. Well, is there anything else you want to bring up? I mean, I think we talked about pretty much everything.
I mean, I
right?
have nothing else to talk about. But what about you, man? Your overall opinions of each match that we've just went through, including the pay-per-view that we talked about on Friday.
They were fun. My favorite match of the week was the Friday with IC Championship.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mike Wynn made me really happy. I'm not a fan of the Chandru character. I like Chandru as a person. I don't like that character. So I think Mike meeting him made me really happy.
Yeah, one thing I will take with Chandru, he knew exactly what character he wanted to do, and he's giving so many people shades of the outlaw Roca from the early season of the Schmoedown, of Andrew Guy and Ben Baby from Team Action, like really detestable characters. Even the early Patriots with Snyder and JTE, like you really hate these guys so much that you want to see them lose. Even with Ken Knapsack and how he was detestable after turning his back on Rachel. I mean.
Yeah.
Chandru is definitely along that league of heels to where you have got to be kidding me. Why is this person around? That situation. And why is this person winning?
It was a great week, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Well, I don't think I can talk about this anymore.
Yeah.
Ryan, where can everyone find you, my man?
Well, definitely can find me here on Schmoes of the North, part of the Sunday crew as we review and break down the matches from the week. You can also find me on Saturdays on the Schmoes of the North channel with Mount Schmoedown co-hosting alongside Ben Rayner as we break down Schmoedown players past, present. We look at their legacy, their careers, and we do see exactly what they've inspired, why they make the Schmoedown fun and so entertaining to watch.
Yep. And you guys can find me at Pan_Radio on Twitter, right here on the channel, basically every day. I have our show, Get Ready, Seeing the Breeze, Recapping the Past, I'm out to Schmoedown. Yeah, you guys can find me here, and yeah. Hope you had fun and coming back up the mountain, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one.